we work in this space talking about things online, and people do not like us for talking about things. We just had the story about Megan Rapinoe. We don't just go along with the general narrative when it comes to a lot of the message. And the message is going to tie into the story here. Critical Drinker has done some guest cameo work for a guy named, his last name is Dinniman, Matt Dinniman. And they've done some very, very small work together in the past. And according to Fandom Pulse, Matt Dinniman, who is the author of Dungeon Crawler Carl, had choice words for Critical Drinker. He said, "I regret that my books ever had any association whatsoever with him. I hope one day to have his part of the book in book 3 removed altogether. It's a distraction, and the only edgelord douchebag I want people to think of when they read my books is the AI itself." So this came out of nowhere. Just kind of mentioned here that he wants to distance himself from Critical Drinker. Why do y'all think that is, first and foremost?
He's trying to get somewhere. That's the only reason you would say that kind of shit. You want to denounce someone, it's usually because you want to get in with a group.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Tale as old as time.
Case spot on.
Yeah. Dinniman has publicly stated that he didn't personally know who the Critical Drinker was at the time, and that the decision was made by the narrator. Drinker had previously reviewed and enthusiastically praised the first Dungeon Crawler Carl books on his YouTube channel, and those videos helped boost visibility and sales for the indie series while still growing in popularity. All right, Dinniman appears to have been open to the association back then, and this is actually pointed out by Drinker over on X. Says, "Lol, that's interesting, since he was very excited to work with me and claimed to be a big fan when it benefited him. Now he's trying to break into TV. Suddenly he's filled with regret. Good luck sucking all that Hollywood dick, buddy. Hopefully it's worth it right here." Kay, you kind of touched on this idea of he wants to get somewhere, and the people who control that space, they don't like Drinker. They don't like Drinker. And this spawned a really interesting conversation. Actually, I saw a video from Ripa over the weekend where he talks about we are in the delegitimization era over here. And I wanted to play a small snippet of this for you guys, as I think what Ripa says here actually really hits the nail on the head. And Phoenix, I know you're going to be able to talk about this at length here.
So delegitimization is this is where we're at. This is the era that we're at. It's a delegitimization era. What I mean by that is that anything that you say or do, if you're floating in these little pockets of the internet, is bad. It's evil, or what have you. And they expect you to play that game and act as if you're completely oblivious that they were never going to give you to the fact that they were never going to give you a fair shake anyway, because it's not about whether or not what you produce is good, whether or not Critical Drinker's stories and stuff that he's done is good. It has nothing to do with it. Because he's attached to it, it was always going to be bad. Doesn't matter. What we do, it's the same thing. Doesn't matter if, we've produced, I don't know how many titles. It has to be the worst thing ever, because they can't allow it to be seen as this sort of legitimate form of entertainment. It's about power. And the reality is, if you don't associate with these cats, if you don't associate with folks that are in our circle, you have a better chance, not of just like generally being successful, but you have a better chance of at least being able to take advantage of those mainstream pipelines. But if you gladly are, you refuse to say things negative about them and you will continue to associate with them, good luck on getting any of those opportunities. It's going to be very, very rare. Okay. Bottom line, very rare. It doesn't matter how much pool that you have. It doesn't matter how people view you, like as far as people like, for example, with Critical Drinker and Gary, you see the amount of viewership that they get from people that see them favorably. Okay. So obviously you would think, well, damn, us at least having them, not to say kiss your behind. It's not what I'm saying at all. But at least, like, valuing, you know what I'm saying? Something that in their perspective could go potentially a long way because they have an audience. And that's all this is the game of that. Not to them.
All right. So this, and I want to go a step further here. This actually goes to us as well, right? So Drinker, movies, TV, Ripa, comics, side scrollers, games. This goes to a conversation. I had a private conversation this past weekend. An industry contacted me. I posted this over on X. I don't know if you guys saw this or not, but he was at PAX this past weekend. He said, I had a few people at PAX pull me aside and tell me about the optics of being associated with you and side scrollers. People who didn't even follow me needed to come up to me and tell me that we were bad. Side scrollers was bad. And he said, the industry legitimately hates anyone who thinks different than they do. And they cited this video in particular. So I uploaded it. This is the video where we were laughing about Leaflet winning the most racist award for the white VTuber, right? And we sat there and we laughed about it for 5 minutes. And this video alone was deemed us as bad, right? Which for me, that there's a saying when it comes to, I feel like where we're at, and let's burn the boats, right? Phoenix, I see you shaking your head.
Phoenix is smiling real hard right now.
Yeah.
The idea that at any time we should be thinking about or catering to anybody in the traditional or mainstream media is obsolete. There is Phoenix, go ahead and file by all means.
No, I'm agreeing. It's to me, it's a badge of honor. I mean, like that. Good. I am not associated with them. I don't care what they call me. Really, don't care at all. If they said you're racist, I wouldn't even say no. I'm not. I don't care. I'm just moving on. I just go, oh, okay. There's the audience that I definitely am not looking to get anything from. I don't want that as an audience member. Yeah, I've been saying for decades, it's time for us to reset and make our own things. Fuck, these people should be able to have whatever opinions they want and make whatever they want. That's great. Good on them. I would never stop them. That's the odd thing. They want to stop us, but I don't need to stop them. Great. You keep making that stuff. But we really need to be investing our time, energy, our resources, business, creativity into making our own things and stop worrying about what they're doing with properties and our properties. It's just consider it dead, move on, and make new things now. That's what I would say. And so that to me is a badge of honor. Burn it all down. Great.
Well, I know Drinker he made his own movie, right? And he put his money where his mouth is. And whether you like it or not, he still tried, right? Ripa, they're seeing great success with Ripaverse. And there will always be discredited because they are an alternative. Same with us, right? People who don't watch us, they have an idea, a skewed perception of who we are and what we do. They truly have no idea. But the reality is,
can I just interject real quick?
Yes.
You see how you're saying like they reject us, right? And I'm saying why are we even saying they? Our audience likes us. But that's it. That's all I need to. Our audience likes what we're doing.
And maybe that's
Ripa's audience likes what he's doing. Who the they? Who gives a shit about the they?
So I agree with you, and it should be we reject them instead of the other way around, right? We reject their premise, but it is important to know what is happening, because while we reject, it'd be naive to not accept that we are the extreme minority when it comes to this. So we have to know what the vast majority are listening to and watching, because that still is dictating culture. You can still have an ear to the ground when it comes to culture while still building your own, right? So I tweeted that out, and I mean, the response to this has been pretty good. Kirsha over on X said, "Building your own convention when?" I said, "Yeah, absolutely, right." Look, I'm gonna tell you this right now. Events are going to be a big part of what we're doing moving ahead. We're going to get into game development, right? we have to build alternatives, right? I don't want to build the next Activision, right? I want to build our own thing and hopefully, take over that, and get to that point. And that's 20, 30 years down the line. But you can see it in every single walk of entertainment, every single genre of entertainment, whether it was Critical Drinker talking about movies and TV, whether it's Ripa or whether it's us, it's all there. And we cannot bend to that. We will not be accepted, and we cannot try to be accepted. It's obsolete. It's pointless. We will never be accepted. Side scrolls will never be on TV. We have to make our own TV alternative, right? Thank God for Rumble. Thank God for Rumble, right? Allowing us to be able to say and do what we want, because without them, it would be in a mess. I don't know.
When I left the industry, I can't tell you how many of my friends said you're going to be blacklisted, and I just without any hesitation went, great, good, please pass it along as fast as you possibly can. As fast as you possibly can, because I don't want to accidentally work with any of these assholes. Right. But perfect. Good. The unfortunate part about the innovators, the people who are starting right from the ground level, the unfortunate part is unfortunately, we all have to make the largest sacrifices from a financial standpoint, from a personal level to how we interact with the world. I mean, you're going to get a lot of hate. You're going to get everything in the world, right? But two things you're hoping happen. You're paving the way for other people to continue and take on that mantle and continue to grow until you're an empire. And if the dice roll is good enough and you're lucky enough that because you were on the ground floor, my God, now you are, you were the ones we were the group that helped really get there, and people will remember that. So for me, that's why I don't pay any attention to what the other side is doing, because I already understand that they control the culture, and how much are they pivoting for us? Zero. And there's a reason for that. They're sticking to their principles, and I beg everyone on this side of the aisle, stick to your principles and they will come. Stop worrying about anything. Don't even change a little bit for them, because if you do, then that means they still own the culture. You've got to let them bend to you, and that's when you know you've won. That's when you know you're getting somewhere.